It makes it seem like something bad or good happened. So nothing good happened. Pat the Designer Haize, we in the building. We wanted to do a quick post-game show for the Bulls losing against the Washington Wizards. Pat, what are your takeaways from this game, brother?
Shoot better. That's my takeaway. I also here's the thing. I know there's going to be a lot of Bulls fans that come on here and probably are going to say, "This is a game you should get. This is a game that you should have dominated. This is a game that the Bulls lost. This is a game that blah blah blah." Washington played well. Washington played a heck of a game. Kyle Kuzma played a heck of a game. Bradley Beal turned it on in that fourth quarter. The stars showed out when the stars had to show out. That being said, I thought the Bulls could have done a couple of things defensively that could have helped them out. I thought that, you could have done a little bit more, maybe to throw some different looks at Kyle Kuzma. Clearly, I think the big story here is that the fact that by the end of the game, right, P. Will had essentially fallen out of the rotation almost completely. And he wasn't even guarding Kuz at the end of the game. So I think that was something major. And the biggest thing for me, right, with the Chicago Bulls in this situation is the thing that you had in game one, you didn't have in game two. Your bench scoring, your bench defense. You got it from Andre Drummond. You got a little bit from Kobe White, who actually had a really good game. But I mean, only 10 points, but overall played a really good game. But outside of that, right, like you had some guys that just struggled to find their shot tonight. So to me, it's about knocking down shots. They shot 88% from the free throw line. I would have liked to see them knock down some of the ones, and because it was guys that can knock down the free throws that were missing them, and that changes this whole game for you. But at the end of the day, right, this is not an oh my god, the Bulls are the worst team in the NBA loss. This is a
tough
went up
loss
against a team that played really well, and you took them to the wire, and you lost the game, and it's a tough.
And
loss.
They had a battle back.
That's gonna happen.
They had a battle back from being 15 down in the fourth quarter and almost still briefly took the lead. No, they tied it. They didn't take the lead. They tied it. And then,
we only tied. Yeah, we only tied. I think we did take the lead, right?
No, we tied it because we got 98, and then they scored 100.
And then they scored, yeah.
Okay. And then DeMar had that steal, and then we got 100, and then it was 102.
Yep. Also, I mean, listen, the shot was good. If you want to have beef with anything, to me, that was a well-drawn play by Billy Donovan.
It was an okay play. The thing that was worrisome for me is the thing that we talked about is that when it gets tough on this Bulls team, we're seeing them default. This felt like a game of last year's Chicago Bulls. The offense stagnated. There were times when people were standing around. Both Javonte and Patrick Williams gave us a big zero at the power forward position overall. When you have only four total points, right? Let's see, 7 points and 4 rebounds from the power forward position as a whole. Yep. That's not going to cut it.
It's not going to cut it. No, it's not. So, and I know everybody wants to see something else at the power forward position outside of P. Will. There is nothing else. So we got to hope that he's able to figure that out. We got to hope that he's able to get that together. I don't, at this point, right, like, I don't know. It's not that I'm off P. Will. It's not that I don't believe that P. Will has the talent to be the player that I think we think he does.
Mm-hmm.
But you've seen 2 games where Zach LaVine's not out there taking shots away from you. Ayo Dosunmu shows up. Now, Ayo struggled to shoot the ball a little bit today as well.
Not a little bit. That's a lot of it.
3 for 9. Really struggled. But Ayo was aggressive. I was trying to get the ball to go in. I was trying to take shots. I was trying to, he's trying.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing for me is I just want to see you trying. And I don't see Patrick Williams trying. And so for me, right, like I'm not even, he's at this point early in the season, the equation for me is right now, okay, we get Zach LaVine back coming into this next game. We have DeMar DeRozan already cooking, playing really well. We have Vooch who played really, I mean, he played Kristaps the smartest that I've seen somebody be able to play him, right? Because to me, in that situation, you're not going to shoot the ball over Kristaps all night. He's 7'4" with like a 7'9" wingspan or whatever it is. He's ridiculous out there. So you want to get him in foul trouble. You got him in foul trouble. You got him fouled out of the game. I think Vooch did his job. I just think you need that third score. I think this is probably the one game that I look at and I say Zach LaVine makes the most difference here.
Yeah, Zach LaVine in this game, you win this game, period. Like, And I'm not even doing the whole, well, he averages 20. I'm not doing that. Just in the way that this Bulls team would have operated, the fact that it was pretty much just DeMar and Vooch. And you had a couple of people chip in, like Drummond and Kobe White, each getting 10 off the bench. Another game, we got 27 points off the bench. Yeah. Again, didn't get a lot of that the last season, so that's great production. But moving Caruso to the bench and having Zach LaVine in that starting lineup, we win this game. Period.
Yes.
So,
and I'll be honest with you. I think here's the thing, and here's the question that I really have. Right? What do you think is the Bulls after? And this is only 2 games. I don't think that we're going to make any hard line standpoints off of 2 games. And if you are making hard line standpoints, that tells me where your basketball knowledge is. But to me, right, in these 2 games that we've seen right now, do you feel like the rotation that we're putting out there is one that will be consistent the entire season? Outside of Alex Caruso being in the starting lineup. Because to me, right, I felt like the bench rotation today, especially with Kobe stepping up, there was always one piece missing. And this is not, unfortunately, it's not meant to be a shot at P. Will, but it kind of is just based on him being the piece that was missing. But with P. Will not giving you anything, Javonte not giving you anything, I think we're seeing the beginning of the moment where Dalen Terry's window might start to crack open. Now, I'm not saying that through 2 games, everything's going to change, but you're seeing people play themselves out of rotations in the first 2 games. That's crazy.
Who do you think played themselves out of the rotation?
To me, you didn't have your best player in the game or who you thought was your starter in the game at the end of that game. And you didn't see Javonte on the floor at the end of that game.
I don't think they played themselves out of the rotation. They're still going to very much be a big part of the rotation. And but I do think that you now look at it like, and a lot of people are going to just blame P. Will. Javonte was terrible. They were terrible together.
Was terrible too. No,
they're terrible too.
Neither of them were on the floor. That's why I'm asking this, right? Because legitimately, right, you didn't have either of your power forwards on the floor to finish the game. Power forwards on the floor to finish the game.
Yeah. I mean, but they're still not out of the rotation. They just suck tonight.
You don't often see a coach just drop them, though.
Yeah, hey, listen. And so far in the season, we saw Chris Paul sit the whole 4th quarter and his team win because of it.
That's true. That is true.
So I'm just saying.
I didn't think about Chris Paul. I'll say this. You normally don't see a coach just go, "No, you suck." And I'm not
like legit. And you know what's so funny about that game is that Chris Paul knew he wasn't getting back because not only was he just on the sideline, he put on the warm up jacket and it was zipped up. He literally was just like, "Hey, I'm done." Like basically, he told the coach, "You be crazy if you put me back in. I'm done.
I'm done. Don't put me back in the game." No, I just looked at tonight and it felt like Billy Donovan to me, right? It felt like Billy Donovan was saying, "I can't trust y'all."
Yeah.
And that's crazy, right? Because now you're putting in Alex Caruso at the 4. You had Ayo in the game to finish it out, DeMar in the game to finish it out.
Kobe was out there,
and Kobe was playing well.
Yeah. I'm just saying we wouldn't expect that coming into the season, but yeah, Kobe.
I mean, let's give credit where credit is due because we've killed Kobe a lot on this podcast, on both of our own platforms, where we've said you just got to play better, you got to play more consistent. Kobe White. Now, shooting-wise, right, I think it was better tonight than he has been most games. But in 2 games of the season, Kobe White has been effective on the defensive end. Kobe White has been effective offensively. Kobe White has been effective in the passing lanes. Kobe White, he's been an effective basketball player.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's 2 games. I'm not losing my mind. But he's been an effective basketball player. And he wasn't an effective basketball player if he wasn't shooting the ball well last year.
These are facts. Kobe White had as many rebounds as our power forward position as a whole.
That's tough.
That's tough. Man, that's crazy. And
here's the thing, right? There's things you can if you look at just the stats, right? And let me pull them up here. If you look at just the stats, the wild part is, it almost looks like the Bulls won this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like they out. Let me see here.
We lost the rebound battle by 1.
We shot the ball terribly, right? But 3-pointers, 7 for 26, terrible. Free throws, 27 for 33. the guys that missed them should have made them. I think that's my issue there.
Yeah.
Rebounds, even 39-38. Bulls were down 1. 10 offensive boards, 19 assists to 26 assists, 8 and 8 on steals. Turnovers, Bulls had less turnovers. Points in the paint, they did get dominated, 44-34.
Well, the thing too is though, we won every quarter but the second quarter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which usually that's a recipe for success.
Yeah. But I think the problem is too, right? Like, and this is something we saw last season, and I think this is something that we can key in on in this game. We're still seeing those moments where the Bulls go through incredibly long scoring droughts. We had I believe it was a 3-minute and 45-second scoring drought tonight.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Incredibly long scoring droughts. That's something to me that is concerning. And I don't know if it'll be concerning every night, but at least, right, like that's something I can pinpoint from this season that we continued to do last season. And I think that's something where I'll say this, Zach LaVine does help with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably, to me, the most where the Bulls look like last season tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. But luckily, tomorrow, it's NBA. We got another game tomorrow
bro.
against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And in that case, like, Zach LaVine is expected to play. Yeah. So heading into this, like, things I always want to talk about, some positive, some negative. Is there anything positive that you can take from this game to move over to the Cleveland Cavaliers game?
Vooch is back. Vooch is back. Vooch is playing smart. Vooch is playing basketball that makes sense. Vooch is playing the position at a high level. Vooch has figured out how to be the third option on the team. And right now, right, he's being the second option. But even last season, when he was the second option, it wasn't working. But to me, Vooch is back. You're able to get downhill. You're able to get in the post. You're able to make he's knocking down that turnaround lay. He forced Kristaps Porzingis in a ton of bad positions tonight. To me, the biggest thing that the Bulls can take away is Vooch is back. And I understand Ayo didn't shoot the greatest tonight, but Ayo took a step. Bradley Beal did not get off
until the fourth quarter. He only had 8 points in the fourth. Like he did a DeMar DeRozan. DeMar did it in the second half, but Bradley Beal had 8. It was like 8 or 9 points the first 3 quarters. And then he finishes this game with 19.
Bradley Beal finished this game with 19.
Yeah,
that's a good game.
This is a good game. If looking at it like also Porzingis, 14 points on 13 shots.
Yeah.
Now Kuzma was 50% overall from the field, 8 for 16.
But the thing is, forward position was cheeks.
But this is the thing too, though. If you're gonna say if you came in and said, hey, we held Porzingis to 14 and Bradley Beal to 19. Yeah. We kind of let Kuzma go off. You still would have thought, oh, so you did that. The Bulls won the game.
I mean, yeah.
They just got to tighten up some things, man.
And here's the thing. At the end of the day, I don't even know if it's that much, right? Like, here's the thing. If y'all can't hear it, we're looking for why the Bulls lost this game. We're trying to figure out, like, I get, like, the power forward position gave you nothing. Like, of course, that's something that we're going to pinpoint to. But this was a game that felt like the Bulls should have won it. And Washington just played a heck of a game. And guess what? The teams on the other side make millions of dollars too, and they're paid to play. And Bradley Beal put a shot in that was an incredibly difficult shot past Alex Caruso, who's playing really good defense on him.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes to beat me in a game where we come all the way back and absolutely had a chance to repeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Let me ask you a question. Something I threw over in Central in my post game, and I just want to ask you. I presented and said, honestly, as much as I said that I would have never seen it, I don't think we're going to see it. Considering the power forward position gave us nothing, and down the stretch Kuzma was cooking, would you have put in Drummond and let Drummond and Vooch be out? Do you think that Billy Donovan could have gotten creative and used that?
How do you defend that? I think that's the thing, right? Like, I think there's certain lineups where I would like to see Drummond and Vooch. I would like to see Drummond and Vooch with versus Cleveland. I would like to see Drummond and Vooch versus I don't know about Philly. Yeah, a little bit versus Philly, right? Because PJ Tucker ain't that mobile. Those bigger lineups versus Brooklyn. How do you defend? Like, who's defending Kuzma? Drummond?
Yeah, Drummond at that point.
Does that change it a lot?
Yes, bro. Drummond has switched, and Vooch for that matter. I didn't talk about that last game too. Vooch switched on guards a couple of times in the first game and stayed with them. Drummond has shown too, I think, with that lighter weight, He can. I think Drummond. Not that again. I wouldn't want to do it all game. It's not something I would use all the time. But considering we got a 0, I would have said, "Hey, try it."
Maybe. But I'll say this, right? Like, yes, Vooch switched on the guards. It's not pretty, right? Like,
Vooch, it looks like he's always going to fall over. He just finds a way to stand up.
We saw him going the wrong way a couple of times. So it's not pretty. And we saw. I mean, Drummond maybe on Kuzma. But I'm gonna be honest with you. While we can say, I guess Kyle Kuzma's the one that kind of beat us, but unless you plan on playing that the entire game, or you plan on that being the focal point of your game, I don't think it changes much. And I don't think that you change much from Porzingis anyway, because Porzingis didn't really give them nothing. Like Vooch dominated Porzingis.
That's what, yeah. You keep Vooch. The only thing you're changing is putting Drummond on Kuzma a little bit.
I guess to see it, but I don't think that it's right. Like, I don't think that is the go-to answer. I think the problem is more so that Billy Donovan, at least how it felt to me, opted more tonight to go with the 6'4" guy, over the 6'7" guy, because the 6'7" guy couldn't get the job done.
Hell, the 6'4" guy couldn't either.
6'4" guy couldn't either. But I guess I think preseason showed Billy like, hey, I'm willing to risk it with him because I know what he can do.
But he didn't.
He didn't. No, but here's the thing. Tonight, he didn't, right?
Yeah.
But Billy Donovan, we won a lot of games with Javonte Green in there at the 4 last season.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I think there's moments, and I've said this with a couple of teams this year, there's moments where coaches go to what makes them comfortable versus what's new. I think tonight Billy went back to a lineup that was comfortable, and it also didn't work. You got nothing out of your power forward position. We can kill both of them. Yeah, we can go at both of them on this tonight. Like, neither of them played well, and I don't know if there's an answer to that, right? Like the only other answer you can come up with is like put in somebody different. So we throwing Dalen Terry in at the 4, or we're throwing it, or Marco finally gets some tick, which I don't think is the answer.
That's never gonna happen.
You know what I mean? He hates Marco.
I don't even say that. Like, I really don't think he knows who Marko Simonovic is.
Hey, Coach, can I get in? Who's that? Who are you? What are you talking about?
That's wild, bro. That's wild. But that is it from us for today. We wanted to give you this quick one. We'll probably do it again tomorrow. Not a full episode, but just a little quick hitter. Pat, go and give them to him, man. Let's get up out of here.
Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Appreciate y'all for showing love, man.
You can follow me at CEO Haize, CEO Haize. And thank you for joining Locked On Bulls. For Pat, I'm Haize. This is Locked On Bulls. We out. Peace out.